Oh, hi, right. Lord Nathaniel here, and, well, recently, my brother bought a game, okay, as he's more warrant to do than I am. And that game is, in fact, Scribblenauts. That's right, Scribblenauts. So, because the game only came out here recently, being in Australia really sucks for release dates, trust me. So I thought, since I finally got pried it out of his fingers, I thought I've been giving it a go for a little while, and thought I'd share my opinions on it with you. I'll be honest, I quite like this game. It is incredibly creative in that instance, but it has many flaws I found with it as well. For one thing, it controls like ass a lot of the time. It really does. Puzzles, there are two modes. There are two modes. There's puzzle and there's action, okay? But in both, the main aim is to get the star right, but in puzzle, the star right's not there. You actually have to figure out what you're supposed to do to actually unlock it. Whereas in action, it's already there. You just have to get there. And in that way, I far prefer the puzzle modes. Pardon me. Far prefer the puzzle modes, if only because, well, I find the action ones easier, I suppose. Because, okay, the first action ones I ever did basically involved hitting levers and switches to open gates to get to the star right. And I've noticed that seems to be a common theme, and that's pretty much all it really is. One of the more innovative ones was when you had to find a shovel, or make a shovel, either or, and dig through this pit and open up crates to try and find the star right. Innovative, not really, but in that instance, a bit more than that. But what I like is that they make you replay the same puzzle over 3 times after you've unlocked it. And each time, you can't use any of the words you've actually used to solve the puzzle before, which really does stretch your mind in some instances. For example, there was one I did a few moments ago, which was essentially, there was a car, it was busted, okay? And to actually fix it, there were about 3 ways I was able to figure out. The first was to connect the car to a nearby power, what do they call it? I don't know, one of those poles that distributes energy. I forget what they're called right now. I'm really stupid like that sometimes. I assume you know what I mean. And connected that to the car with a few wires, and that car jump-started, and I was able to drive it back to the house. The second playthrough, I couldn't use wires again, so I couldn't connect to the power pole, whatever it's called. So I summoned up myself another car. I got some jump leads, connected the 2 cars together, which was able to repair the other car, and allowed me to drive it home. So there, I had gotten 2 done. Now when I got to the third one, my mind was stretching on what to do. But what I then did was I got a lightning rod, stuck it on top of the car, and summoned a lightning storm, which then struck the actual lightning rod, powered up the car, and I was able to drive it back to the house and unlock the star right. Now, just like that, I'm going to go to a different puzzle, because I can't bother focusing on that one while I'm talking to you. Yes, like I said, it's imaginative, though limited. I find that when I want certain words, I'll type in. I know whether it's just where I'm from, that I use different words that mean completely different things. I certainly hope not, because that screws my plans of being smart about it. But yes, sometimes I'll just find that the words I'm typing and what I'm getting in response, while similar, is not what I was expecting. I don't think a good example of this. Alright, there was one really odd time. One of the puzzles was to get a cat out of a tree, okay? So I did that. And the way I got it out of the tree was by summoning a mouse. But the odd thing was, the mouse and the cat had the exact same body sprite, I guess you could say. So instead of simply being a cat jumping off a roof to catch a mouse, it looked more like a mouse jumping off a roof to catch a mouse. That just seems completely strange to me. But on the other hand, they do have a lot of good words that are quite useful. For example, one puzzle, this one here. I'm not going to show it here. Well, maybe I will. I don't know if that... Oh, no, that doesn't really work. Oh well, forget about that. In short, the actual puzzle is... Give Santa something he likes but doesn't already have. And on the screen they show some stars, a moon, a Christmas tree, a reindeer, 2 presents, and a sled. So you have to give him something he wants that's not a reindeer, presents, or a sled. I was able to come up with 3 right off the top of my head pretty much straight away. And I was quite proud of myself. The first one I actually got was an elf, which makes enough sense. And elf would probably is a word most people would know and would be in the actual game. Second one I gave him was a chimney. I don't know why he actually wanted a chimney, but okay. The third time I actually sort of decided why the hell not and typed in Mrs. Claus, and she was actually in the game. You actually summoned Mrs. Claus, and that won me that puzzle. And I'm going to try a few other ones. I'm going to try Child. See if that works. Yes. Child unlocks Starlight. So yes, you never really know exactly what's going to happen. It is a bit unpredictable, which can get to be a bit annoying. But, you know, it's in a good way, I'm going to try one more thing, just for a bit of amusement on my part. But no, see, it's interesting, because I can imagine this game lasting a long time, because there are level editors, and free roaming, and just, you basically do whatever the hell you want. I mean, I don't know how many words there are, I don't know how many sprites there are in the game, but from what I've played of it, and I've only played it since last night, though I was up quite late playing it, it does work quite well. Damn, right there, sorry, that didn't work. Alright, never mind. So yes, I'll close that for a little bit. And, so yes, Scribblenauts, good game, but it does require 2 things. Well, 2 things, sorry, there we go. One, you need to have a fairly verbose vocabulary, because if you don't know that many words, you're not going to get the full enjoyment out of it. I mean, as long as you have a simple enough one, and a bit of a logic-based mind, there'll be no real worries there. But if you don't know that many words, your options will be limited. But in the same way, you're not limited by what you know. You can just mess around. They will give you if you type in something, they'll come up with a list of words that sound similar or spelled slightly differently. And it's quite fun. Like one time I remember writing, what did I write? I can't remember what the original word I wrote was, but in the end, somehow I got Ninja Cat. I'm not exactly sure what the leap in logic there was. Yes, and the other downside is that there are no real people, places, like proper nouns, countries, ethnicities, which I think is covering the basis fairly well. Yeah, it does limit what you're hoping for sometimes. All in all, I'd rate it about, out of 5, I give it maybe a 4. It's good, it's imaginative, it's very, very well done. It can be unpredictable, and as I said once before, it controls like complete bullshit, trust me. The guy Maxwell, the game is controlled entirely by stylus, which is good, it's good, it works, except that you tap to make the guy walk. You also tap to move objects. So you'll try moving an object, or picking up an object, and he'll run off the cliff or something. Yeah, it's annoying, but, you know, they're very lenient about it. It's a fun game, So, sorry about that. So yes, Scribblenauts 5 by me, and I recommend it. So this has been Lord Nathaniel talking to you, and have a good day, mates.